Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. After the death of Raila Odinga, political pundits have been questioning Ruto's involvement with the ODM when he joined the original founder members of the ODM party, and he maintained that he wants to ensure that ODM remains strong ahead of 2027. We saw some party officials and party members inviting President William Ruto to come and take over the ODM party after the death of Raila, saying that they had been left orphans and Ruto is the preferred father to come and console them. And the question that people have been asking is William Ruto genuine? That is the question that most political pundits have been asking silently and loudly. There have been different opinions and cracks within the ODM party. There are those who have been saying that before Baba died, he told them that he wanted to support William Ruto for president in 2027. But there's another group that says that we cannot purport that Raila wanted to support William Ruto in 2027, yet what he had said in public was the fact that ODM was considering sponsoring a candidate in 2027. If there is one person who has always remained steadfast about this, is the Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, who has always maintained that you cannot work with William Ruto because he is dishonest. And his sentiments have always made him an enemy to some of the party officials and members.
Baba Raila Amolo Odinga alizungumza wazi mbele ya nchi nzima tarehe 22 mwezi uliopita mbele ya hawa wabunge katika hoteli ya Agile pale Nairobi. Baba aliongea kwa kinywa chake mwenyewe, na waomba viongozi msiingize maneno kwa mdomo ya mtu ambaye amelala. Alisema yeye mwenyewe, akasema kama chama lazima tujiandae kwa ajili ya uchaguzi wa mwaka 2027. Na wale ambao wanaeneza mambo mengine hapa, baba alisema who has told you? Who has told you? Who has told you? Kwa hivyo sisi tutafuata the last standing instruction ya baba ambaye alitoa chini ya siku 23 ambazo zimepita kabla afariki.
Now, as they always say, time will tell, and that time is now. Those who have been criticizing Edwin Sifuna are now realizing very slowly that William Ruto might not be very honest in his engagement in this broad-based relationship. The Nation newspaper is running a news headline that has now gone viral, that ODM members boycotted an invite to attend a celebration of the by-election outcome in Statehouse. And the Nation says Statehouse NAB exposes ODM bosses rift. Briefly, because this is something that has now gone viral and many people have read it, that a quiet revolt unfolded inside the Orange Democratic Movement after senior party officials boycotted a Statehouse meeting convened by President William Ruto for newly elected broad-based MPs, effectively leaving party leader Oburu to attend the event alone. Now, after the by-election, it is said, according to the reports by the Nation newspaper, that William Ruto decided to invite the ODM newly elected members, that is Void Were from Kasipul, Ugunja and Magarini. And William Ruto did this deliberately because protocol demands that if he wanted to meet the newly elected ODM members, he would have gone through the party structures and invite them through the structures. But he ignored them. They got alarmed and they told Oburu, they alerted Oburu that we have been invited directly to attend the Statehouse meeting. This angered the officials, led by Edwin Sifuna, Abdul Swamad, who is the deputy party leader, Osotsi and Simba Rati. And they smelt at. They felt this is the height of the big man syndrome. And they decided, because that morning they had attended another meeting in Chungwa House, and they decided that they were not going to attend. There were also discussions that William Ruto was never genuine, because even in the by-election, some of his very closest allies broke ranks and decided to support the opponent team, especially in Kasipul. We know Kidere, who is a very close ally of William Ruto, Ray Omolo, who is the interior PS, and people like Odoyo Widi and the former Migori governor, Okoth Obado, ganged up with the resources, and they were supporting the ODM opponent, Aroko, in Homa Bay. And this didn't go down well, because in the spirit of broad-based functionality, it was very necessary to see the allies of William Ruto supporting Floyd Were. So ODM from the onset realized that there is no honesty in this broad-based relationship after the death of Raila Amolo Odinga. It didn't end there. There have been a lot of sponsored demonstrations against Gladys Wanga. In fact, after Wanga worked hard and won the 3 seats, Magarini, Kasipul, and Ugunja, it seems the team that was supporting the ODM opponents were not very happy. And speculations are high that the very team that are close to William Ruto and were supporting the opponents have been sponsoring demonstrations against Wanga. They allege that Wanga had written a letter to William Ruto asking him to sack Ray Omolo for supporting their opponent. So this didn't go down well with the ODM members. In fact, they were calling Ruto's move protocol abuse, because he was not supposed to invite the members directly. So all this coupled with a lot of internal wrangles made it untenable for the whole team to attend the ceremony. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I'm saying that Sifuna has been vindicated, because Sifuna has always been very stubborn. Like Ruto says, facts are very stubborn. From the onset, Sifuna said, we cannot follow William Ruto blindly. And why is so? Immediately William Ruto was sworn in, William Ruto went ahead to buy some of the ODM members without the approval from Raila Amolo Odinga. And I remember the ODM lamented that Ruto was destroying multi-party. Ruto was destroying multipartism. He wants to take people back to the one-party state. That alone was supposed to be an alarm to the ODM party. And even after the death of Raila Amolo Odinga, they were supposed to look back and see how William Ruto tried to steal their members. Today, the very members who have been bashing William Ruto boycotted that function. In fact, it is said that some emissaries were sent to plead with Oburu Odinga to save the face, because it was going to be very humiliating if they had boycotted that function altogether. The newly elected members could not go there alone, because sources indicate that William Ruto wanted that public notion that these people have aligned themselves to William Ruto. They are not aligning themselves with the ODM party. Let me ask you, are those not actions of a man who wants to destroy the ODM party? And that's what people have been told, especially people like Sam Atandi, Opondo Kaluma, who have been saying Ruto come to ODM. I remember Opondo Kaluma was saying they don't feel the essence of the broad-based relationship if those who are very close to William Ruto are supporting the opponent. They should be very careful, because William Ruto is a very shrewd and cunning politician. His intention, as many pundits have said, are not to build the ODM party. He wants to wreck it from within. Even as we speak today, if you look at the actions of Ray Omolo, you know, Ray Omolo is now like a national civil servant. He's inspecting projects in Kisumu, he can go to Homa Bay, he can go to Siaya. He's not limited. And William Ruto is elevating his own part of the broad-based team. Remember, he had picked some of those to join hands and was saying, we are uniting this country. So those who went through Raila Amolo Odinga are being sidelined, because William Ruto wants to work with his own party. He does not want to work with those people who still follow the ideologies of the ODM party, those who are still swearing allegiance to Oburu Odinga, and that is the main problem. And while the leaders boycotted that function, they should understand that Edwin Sifuna was right from the onset. Edwin Sifuna saw this. They say, and what an old man sees while squatting, a young man cannot see even if he climbs on a tree. But in this case, it is the opposite. Edwin Sifuna, as a young man, had foreseen all these things. He knew very well that Ruto was dishonest. And so, ladies and gentlemen, today, the ODM party, especially those who have been bashing Edwin Sifuna, must stop. They must even apologize to Edwin Sifuna because they boycotted, knowing very well that William Ruto was trying to undermine the party structure, the party leadership, even to the extent of undermining the new party leader, Oburu. William Ruto does not have intentions to preserve the ODM party. His intention is to wreck the ODM party so that he can get into, he wants to go to Nyanza, he wants to go to the ODM party followers in Mombasa, in Western, without passing through any leadership. And that's why he was inviting the leaders as individuals. What more evidence do you need to understand that there are ulterior motives against the ODM party? Ladies and gentlemen, what if the newly elected members had not informed Oburu that, we have been invited? What would have happened? They would have seen it on cameras, having meetings and having a dinner with William Ruto, and Ruto wanted that speculation. These people have aligned to him. They are now working with him directly. It is the same thing he did when he called people like Jalango, Gideon Ochanda, to work with them. And so the very, very penchant of ignoring red alerts that I've always cried about. Something happens, you discuss it, you let it die, it is water under the bridge, you sweep it under the carpet, until something big happens. Then you look back and say, we had seen this. Let this be a very warning sign that Ruto wants to destroy the party. I know they will be called for a meeting to iron their differences, and they will say, oh, that was a very small matter. We have ironed our differences, we've buried the hatchet, and we are working together. Something serious will happen to them. That is the only time they will realize that people like Sifuna, James Orengo are very right, because they understand exactly the mischief behind William Ruto's involvement with the ODM party.